how crafty we can get. And that's what happened. And you know, this is where Saul got. He got to that same point where he went from humble to arrogant. And the hard part of arrogance is arrogance doesn't know it's arrogant. It's like pride. It's the only sin that sneaks up from behind you. Every other sin in the Bible confronts you. Pride is the only one that comes up from behind you. Starts to pat you on the back. Hey, good for you. Hey, you work you out a little bit. Yeah, you've been doing an awesome job. Man, you know how much I don't think they appreciate you like they should, but you know what? You're the man. You know, pride sneaks up from behind till it embraces you. All over you. And you don't know, and it feels so good, you don't know what's happening. But every other sin is like, bam, in your face. Try this, sucker. You know, and it's like that. You know, every other sin has the guts to get in your face. Not pride. But arrogance is like the invisible pride. It's worse than pride, because arrogance is the combination of being self-centered, self-righteous, indignant, dogmatic, legalistic, and prideful in one. That's arrogance. Arrogance doesn't know it's arrogant, and Saul didn't know he was arrogant. When he was chasing David, he thought he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. Just like when Saul in the New Testament was chasing down Christians, and he really thought he was doing his religious part to do what he was supposed to be doing. He wasn't a maniac. He thought he was doing the right thing. Have you ever been arrogant? Not this group. Not us. I'm in the wrong place. That's how I married. No. Yeah, we're not only arrogant, but we laughed at you to go, I am with a capital A, if you might quote that right. And at that point, I had this big, gigantic financial planning firm, and I had 17 employees, and I had people just jumping when I came around, and I didn't even know some of the people that worked for me anymore because somebody else was hiring them. And that's what happened when somebody hired an employee from a state agency in Florida to do an undercover investigation to try to figure out whether there was something we were doing that was insane, which I had no idea what was really going on, and I didn't know. And it was a series of books and videotapes and things like that that I was producing for my television program, which was called Let's Talk Stewardship. And it was all about just teaching people stewardship. But the arrogance was always there. You know, I'd show up 2 minutes before the radio airtime, you know, and I'd just sit right down because I just knew where everything was. You know, I just knew the scripture like I knew my name. And bang, you know, and I was just, you know, what a great show I just had. And that's what would happen. But I made some mistakes because I made a decision to do something that I didn't know I wasn't allowed to do. But I don't have time to find out if I'm allowed to do this or not. I'm me. So it'll work out. And with the money I make, who's going to bother me? Well, I had no clue the day that the Florida Department of Law Enforcement broke into my office and I heard a smash and crash coming through the door. I had no idea what it was until somebody walked in my office and they said, "Can I help you?" They said, "Are you Dominique Esposito?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Sit down." That was the first day God said, "You know what? I'm running this from now on." And that whole thing started, and that's where Dino and I met. And God used taking this 15-year career in the financial planning world and all this money I was making. And I mean, I was making a lot of money. My salary was $5 grand a month. And I was doing stupid things I didn't care. And then there was an expense account and all the other dumb things. And just couldn't, but I was on Christian radio and television for 5 years already. And I was preaching in all the pulpits. And because I heard God call me, that He told me He was calling me to be a pastor, remember? And so, you're going to do it my way. And that's what happened. And so, subsequently, God took me and He said, "You know what, just like we do with our little kids, you know what, I'm sorry, I have told you so many times, you are going to have to go in timeout, honey." Bam! And He put me in timeout and He put us in this big crib. It just had razor wire around it. So moms, if you really want your kid to get it right, put razor wire around the crib. That'll fix him good.